What's going on, my Astro family? Yes, we are having another event in the skies, and that is going to be our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that is happening on September 17th, 2024. And guys, get ready for dramatic endings, sudden new beginnings. The full moon is going to be revealing hidden truths. Things are going to be bubbling to the surface that has always been there, but it's just going to make itself known. We're going to have to make those major decisions and transformation with regards to what this energy is bringing us. So you can expect big shifts and changes within your relationship. I'm talking about dramatic changes and transformation through the process of self-discovery. With this particular lunar eclipse, get ready for major spiritual breakthroughs and some emotional growth. And the full moon eclipse that's happening in Pisces is going to set the stage for a brand new cycle of change and a new chapter in our life. So just to give you guys a background, full moons and eclipses reveal hidden truths. So full moons and lunar eclipses are about moments of culmination when things that have been brewing under the surface come forth into the spotlight. And these types of cosmic events, they bring clarity to situations that have been unclear or unresolved for some times. So you've been sweeping something under a rug, you just haven't had the energy to deal with it. Guess what? The energy is coming because the full moon is going to intensify those emotions related to those areas in your life that this full moon is affecting. And as the energy of the eclipse stirs up drama, particularly in the areas of life ruled by the house and the sign where the full moon falls in your chart, you're going to have heightened energy. And this heightened energy can lead to an intense internal crisis. And this often reveals the gaps or deficiencies where we are lacking in our lives and are just not happy with that lack. And this can be a perfect time to dive deep into what we emotionally will require to feel complete and those areas that are influenced heavily by the eclipse in our charts. So expect I have to warn you, a temporary cloud of uncertainty because this energy bursts forward and the energy is so potent that we have a surge of emotions that makes us just irrational, and we cannot be really contain and don't really know how to navigate the energy that's happening that's suddenly being activated by the eclipse. So one important thing to remember is that when the eclipses first happen, they tend to obscure or hide our vision temporarily because there's just too much going on. And so while we might feel a strong urge to act, it's better to just sit, chill, just chillax for a minute and let our inner wisdom guide us. That might be hard to do, but if you have this information, then you're prepared, and you should know, take a deep breath and just wait until the energy passes, get a hold of it before you make major moves or whatever. So full moons, they already amplify your emotions. And, when it's combined with an eclipse, the impact is 10 times as great, 10 times as more intense. And so that means your judgment is not in the best situation. Is not oriented for you to make those choices that affects your life. So you have to take a chill pill. So rather than just rushing to conclusions, you just gotta, press pause and allow the time to reflect and trust that clarity is going to come. Right. And so when the eclipses hit, patience is the key, because guess what? You're not the only one feeling this burst of emotion. Other people are feeling it too. So they might be acting a little strange towards you, and you're looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what is their problem? Know that they are being influenced, and, give them some grace before you act and you judge their actions, because they might not be getting this information. They might not know. Know that eclipses bring relationship shifts. Lunar eclipses often highlight relationship dynamics, so they trigger moments of realization about what we truly need from our connections, which can lead through breakthroughs and breakups and sudden connections. And sometimes these realizations involves, they do involve our partnerships, obviously, with others, but they often are, as they are about relationships. It's not only about the relationships with the people that we encounter maybe suddenly or even every other day, but they're also about our relationships to the subjects that are governed by the house that the eclipses affect within our chart. And so I'm going to speak generally about how they affect every sign specifically and in a very general manner. But if you want to know how it is going to affect you, you can always book a reading with me and we can, unpack how the eclipses will affect you. So moving on though, emotional intensity of these moments can lead to significant changes, obviously. And some relationships, they probably will end by the challenges that are called forth and unearthed and are surfacing because they can no longer stay under the surface. While others, relationships might be challenged to and gain strength and a newfound understanding of what mutual needs are so that the relationship can stand on even stronger ground after you address what is needed. So dramatic changes and transformations in relationships, and that's honestly through self-discovery, because the lunar eclipse, while it focuses on relationship dynamics, we also, you can't be in a relationship, well, you can be in a relationship by yourself, but and we all have a relationship to ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the lunar eclipse kind of forces us to go inward and look at the things that we are not content with, the things that our soul calls to transform so that we can live a better life. So as we go through the process of self-discovery, the relationships transform dramatically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so during this period, relationships, they experience sudden challenges, breakthroughs and endings. Everything seems so intense and so magnified as emotions run high because of the surge from the lunar eclipse. And they give us an awareness of what we lack in our lives, and they push us into taking action to address those imbalances, and thus brings about the change and the transformation. So although the initial phase may feel chaotic or uncertain, that often leads to powerful revelations that can steer us toward a more meaningful path in life. And that is the point, guys. And so this series of lunar eclipses is going to start on the 17th of September, and they are going to stretch through 2027. So it's going to happen over a period of 2.5 years. And it is going to be in the sign in the Virgo Pisces axis in our charts. So the Virgo Pisces axis is activated, and this particular eclipse series is going to invite us to explore how well we are balancing the practical everyday aspects of our material lives with our spiritual and emotional needs. Because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo rules the 6th house, Pisces rules the 12th house. The 6th house is all about our everyday routines, our health needs, and the tools that we use to get through our material lives, while the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that's ruled by things that are hidden, things that are unseen, the spiritual realm, our connection to the divine, and God, our higher sense of self. Our higher sense of self, and our spiritual health and things like that. So Virgo's influence focuses on the tools and the ways that the methods we use to manage our daily routines, health, and the desire for to have our materials lives run the way we want it to. And under Virgo's energy, we become more aware of the imperfections, because Virgo is all about the meticulous detail. And so we can see through Virgo, or that the energy of Virgo helps us to see the flaws and imperfections more acutely when it is activated. So, and when this lunar eclipse is activated, you're going to see without a doubt what in your life is flawed and imperfect, and you're going to want to change that. And on the opposite end, Pisces governs, like I said, our spiritual lives. And this is emphasizing our connection to the divine, our intuition, and our emotional and spiritual health. And so what this is going to be, let me just continue on now. Well, Pisces energy also allows us to see the beauty in imperfection and chaos, while Virgo is like, no, we need order in the court. Okay, order in the court. So this eclipse is encouraging us to seek harmony between the material and the spiritual realms. That's what it's calling us to do. And so focusing too much on either end of the spectrum, whether living in chaos or becoming too, overly rigid, that's going to create that imbalance between that realm of the material world and the spiritual world. It's all about finding the balance there. And then as we move into this conversation with you guys, how our everyday lives with regards to the area that it's affecting in our chart, like how are we focusing there or not, to the point where it's giving or detracting from our spiritual needs, our spiritual, mental, and emotional health, right? That is what this eclipse is going to be, working with through us, right? It's going to ask us to find a sweet spot between spiritual fulfillment and our daily responsibilities. If you're too focused in your daily, but you're neglecting your spiritual health, that's a problem. You're going to find breakdown with regards to how those are affecting you. And we have a little bit of nuance here because we have the lunar eclipse is going to be connected to Neptune, which is aligned with the moon, and the influence of Neptune is going to add a layer of fantasy and idealism as it rules Pisces. So honestly, I think that it's going to have a layer of divine connection associated with it. So I think there's going to be like sudden revelations and sudden breakthroughs spiritually that you're going to have with regards to where these areas touch in your chart. And it's also aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter's job is to expand or to exaggerate whatever it touches. So that's this energy is going to be on 10. It's going to be even heightened even further. And it's also being aspected by Uranus in a pretty desirable way. So I think the changes will come about somewhat easy. Okay. This lunar eclipse is also giving us spiritual insights. And like I said, I already said that, but spiritual insights, which is leading to emotional growth. So the events around the eclipse are likely to push us toward greater emotional understanding and spiritual connection from within. So we may realize that in order to feel fulfilled, we need to pay attention to our mental and emotional well-being. We got to let go of stress, and we got to become more passionate to ourselves. We have to learn self-compassion and towards others. And so at this time, we're also going to have to take a break, possibly from the daily grind, and focus on nurturing our spiritual needs, right? We can't be so wrapped up in the material that we're neglecting our spiritual needs. So this is going to allow for personal growth and deeper connections also to those around us. And maybe we're going to sever ties to those around us and our relationship to things in our environment that's not contributing to us spiritually, that we're just way too focused on in this material world. So, guys, this, like I said, cycle is going to bring about the beginning of a new journey. Okay. So this eclipse will set the tone for your life that's going to carry on until 2027. And it's all about how we navigate our material life and in a way that enriches us. And so although changes may feel big now, they're opening doors to new experiences and fresh perspectives and ultimately a better life. And so as we dive deeper into this lunar eclipse, let's talk about how it's going to affect your sign. So you can see how it's going to influence your path forward through the next 2.5 years through 2027. Let's get it, guys. What is up, my lovely Libras? So this lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th of September is definitely presenting some major transformation energy, dramatic for better or worse. And this is affecting your 6th and your 12th house axis. The eclipse is actually happening in your 6th house. So what you can expect, Libra, is unforeseen changes in your work and your health. This lunar eclipse highlights the area of the life that deals with your job, daily routines, and your personal well-being, as again it relates to your health. So surprises might arise in your work environment with regards to your day-to-day responsibilities, or maybe you might need to make some changes to your health habits. So the eclipse is going to be bringing these things or things that have been hidden to your attention so that you can deal with them. Issues at work, such as unspoken problems or overlooked tasks, could come to the surface and demand resolution at this time. So be on the lookout for that. You may find that your daily habits and routines need to be adjusted, specifically if they have been neglected, or if you just been doing too much and they are taking from you spiritually. You might have to configure those routines in a way that is feeding you spiritually, because how we're spiritually fed really invigorates every other area in our life. So you're going to be called to look at that. This period could also reveal matters of health that were not known to you, that now just require your attention, so that you can focus on self-care. And it could be that you were just too focused on the everyday mundane to where you neglected your health, and now it's time for you to not do that anymore. So you're going to be taking actions to improve your routines. Use this energy of the eclipse to make meaningful improvements to your day-to-day, particularly at work and within your wellness routines. Don't make sudden movements right now, though, because the path forward is just unclear. The energy is just way too thick right now. A week before and a week after the a week before and a week after the eclipse energies hit us. So you just chill, observe what is being presented right now, gather the information, and then you make the movements once the energy settle down. Okay. So be looking at, this time as being a great time to look at starting a new health routine, such as exercising and refining your eating habits, especially if you've been considering that for a while, which I know you have. Now is your time to kind of make those adjustments again. Like I said, after the energy settle, expect shifts in your jobs and your personal health routines. We talked about that already. You want to be, This eclipse is going to be signaling a shift away from the patterns that you've been following. So it's going to be highlighting that, and you're not going to be able to continue on the way you have, especially if they haven't been adding to you spiritually. The eclipses is just not going to let you move forward in ways that hurt you. It's just not going to happen, but you won't be able to make those moves, or you shouldn't make them or implement until after the energy settle. There may be a sense of urgency to improve your daily tasks or habits, so you might have to take action immediately. But like I said, just, observe and chill and see what's being presented. If you have to make a sudden move, do it. But if you can wait. So you're going to be balancing responsibilities with your self-care. Okay. So if you have crazy work responsibility and you've been, being a workaholic, or, I'm not calling you out or whatever, but if you've been, burning a candle at both ends on work and you've been neglecting your health, you're going to have to figure out how to balance that. And you will have insights, and you're going to have the motivation to manage that as well. So the eclipses that's going to be unfolding over the next 2.5 years, is going to be giving you the power to gain that equilibrium where you are able to do what you need to do in your daily routines and focus on those activities that you need to engage spiritually, so that the spiritual nourishment you get feeds the rest of your life. That's going to be important for you, especially since it's happening on that axis. Be aware that not all the information is available to you right now. Some things may feel larger than life because the eclipses is just blowing things up, and Jupiter is aspecting it, blowing it up even further. So just, like I said, just wait and see. Reflect before making big changes. And take a moment to assess what adjustments will benefit your health and lifestyle the most over the next 2.5 years, leading to the rest of your life, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because, again, the unseen and the seen, the tangible and the intangible, is at play here. So like I said, some things might seem overemphasized because of Jupiter's influence, but just wait for it to die down. Be patient and observe what's going on before you make significant steps. And this phase is going to bring about clarity in time, okay? And so have courage to embrace the transformation, Libra. And if you got any value for this, in the comments, right? Embracing transformation, because you ready for the transformation into your best life, honeys, right? Oh yeah. So let me know, guys. And until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirits connected.